pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Everybody would please put their phone on airplane mode or silence. That'd be much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, the District Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will... Not on? Sorry about that. Do I need to start over? Okay. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Orders. Each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission from the chair to speak, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'll ask that all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
If you plan to speak, do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay. Gentlemen, as per usual, we will be taking cases out of order. Our first case this evening will be, I believe, the last case on your agenda. It will be case number 23-0117. And then the second case will be the one above it, case number 226727. And I'll let you know the rest later. Okay, ex parte communications. At this time, I'd like to ask the board members if they've had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications were occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you received written communications, please disclose the nature of the communication and provide it to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting with...
I have not.
I have none.
I've had none.
I've had one. I received an email on January 31st from Brian Strasser, which is the first case we'll be hearing. I'm not going to read the whole email, but the sum and substance, the takeaway is that he's looking for a continuance. If you want to take this and put it in the record. Thank you. David?
I have none.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Approval of the minutes. I assume everybody has gotten a copy of the minutes of January 11, 2023. If the meetings are acceptable with no changes or additions, I'll accept the motion to accept the minutes. We have a motion to have a second. Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, first hearing. Case number 23-0117.
Case number 23-0117, City versus Brian A. and Rachel Strasser for the property located at 13310 North 53rd Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-861B1 fences, excess height. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Broney and City Attorney Pam Shishan. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served. Mr. Strasser has requested a continuance.
Thank you. Is he here this evening?
No.
You or Tom, whoever.
Pam Shishone, City Attorney. I believe there were two grounds that Mr. Strasser had for his motion for continuance. One, he was stating that the notice that he received of this hearing the 10 days notice was not long enough, and also he had childcare issues this evening. The city just wanted to place on the record that it did object to the continuance. The notice was sent to him, I believe, 10 days in advance, but it was posted on the property 14 days in advance and posted here at City Hall 14 days in advance. I can't speak to the childcare issues, but this has been going on for some time, basically not in front of this body, but in front of the Board of Adjustment since May, and this is the fifth time that Mr. Strasser has asked for continuance of proceedings. I recognize that these are two different proceedings, but the city's view is that this is beginning to look like a pattern of avoidance of the proceedings, but I leave it up to you. As the city understands that people do have childcare issues, but it's a decision for you to make. Thank you.
Yeah, we had a couple of,
Hold on a second. I think, Tom, are you going to present the case itself?
I will start out presenting the case.
Okay, so, why don't we hear what Tom has to say? Maybe the questions get answered? Pam?
If it's not continued, he will present the case.
Oh, if it's not continued, okay, then if you guys,
Decide on a motion for continuance first.
all right, so go ahead and answer, Rod, go ahead and ask your question.
Does he live at the property?
Beg your pardon?
Does he live at the property?
Yes.
Okay.
and
Go ahead, yeah.
the Board of Adjustments turned down his application, right? He wanted to have a variance, right, for this fence, and they turned it down, correct? Okay.
Okay, so the question before you, before we actually hear the case, is whether or not you're amenable to giving him a continuance to our next meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I can't decide on anything, on something that I'm not aware of, so we have to hear it. So I'm with continuance.
So, well, I need a motion.
I move. Okay,
Okay,
so this
Our
is,
next meeting would be March 8th.
Would it be possible to get Tom, Director Baroni to weigh in on his feelings about this also, as far as the continuance? I would like to get that
As long
input.
as the city has no objection.
If you have an opinion, you've been asked for your opinion.
The only thing I could add, there's
So-
another case this evening that's going with the gentleman's asking for a continuance as well. So his issue is a little bit different than Mr. Strauss's issue. So I believe if you allow one, I think you have to allow the other. That's my opinion. But I also think this case has been going on for quite a while, as
But not in front of us.
not in front of us.
Yeah.
And
Okay. One at a time. Good.
How long has this been continuing? When was he first cited with a violation?
He was only recently cited with the violation. That's why I said the continuances, this is the first time it comes before you. We're just simply saying, I'm saying that there was a different proceeding before this one in front of the Board of Adjustment where we were routinely getting, again, requests for continuance. The city did not object to the first three. It objected to the fourth one, and now we're objecting to the fifth one. But it's not been before you all. So,
did he specify how long of a continuance he wanted in this case? One more month, or?
Just 30 days.
The email that I got asked to be continued to our next meeting.
right,
Okay.
right. He's just saying that he can't be at this one.
And in his defense, he did provide a hotel reservation, that he was out of town, and that the 10 days was not enough time to get alternative, hang on a second, get alternative childcare so that his wife could be here.
So, Tom, he was found, he has a violation. I see this, the height of the distance, the fence.
Yes.
And if we give him, it's not a continuous, we'll give him 30 days to correct that action, to correct that fence.
You can look at it that way.
If we gave him,
He could bring it into compliance prior to March 8th, and we would submit an affidavit of compliance.
and you would be fine with that?
Yes, in essence, it gives him another 30 days to get in compliance.
Okay. I think,
Okay, we do have a motion on the table,
yes. You want to do
to
it?
give him the continuance. We did have,
Yes.
did we get a second?
Should we
No, we didn't.
No motion, okay.
treat it like a violation and?
It's,
you find
well,
him-
we got two questions. The first question you must answer is whether or not you're amenable to a continuance.
I make a motion that we accept, that we continue it till March 8th.
Okay, we have a
Much.
motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, one nay, motion carries, he gets his continuance.
Thank you.
Next case is case number 226727.
Case number 226727, City versus Richard G. Lowe for the property located at 511 Nantucket Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 1034, sanitation, keep premises clean, Section 22345, subsection 2, unauthorized accumulation, Section 810218D, sanitation infestation, Section 810213K, hardware screens maintained in good repair, and Section 103B, sanitation grass weeds. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Broney. The city has evidence that the notice of hearing and notice of violation were both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Code Board members, Tom Barone, Code Compliance. This case this evening originated back on December 19th, 2022, when I received a phone call from the neighbor that the conditions next door was causing an infestation of rats and possums. He welcomed me to his rear yard that same day, and I did observe a rear lanai cluttered with debris, which was clearly a fire hazard, torn and missing screens on the lanai. Rear yard had a collapsed tree trunk, overgrown conditions. The front yard and the rear yard was clearly unkept. Also noted unauthorized debris accumulation of buckets, tiles, broken tools, and paint containers. That same day, I prepared a notice of violation with the compliance date of January 20th, 2023. I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies to be sent out certified in first-class mail. I also requested a copy to be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. I have spoken to the wife, Lisa Lowe, on 2 occasions to discuss the violations. Richard Lowe had called the office several times to request an extension of time for compliance. My reinspection on the 23rd of January noted some improvements, but still some things remained out of compliance. As of this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations that was taken by me on the 26th of January, 2023. Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice letter at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows an assortment of debris behind the side yard fence. Exhibit number 3 the other one was 2. This one's 3, where there's tiles stored next to the home. 4 is overgrown rear yard and a collapsed tree trunk. Number 5 is a torn lanai screen, and number 6 is the posting of the notice of hearing. I'd like to submit it this time.
We'll accept that, thank you.
You can't get it working?
There we go.
5 violations.
Photos that you're seeing today is the improvements that he's made, but when I first saw it, it was really bad. So. So my inspection today, February 8th, noted a 20-yard dumpster in the driveway. However, the property still remains out of compliance. I've spoken to the couple, Mr. and Mrs. Lowe, tonight. They're here. They are willing to bring the property into compliance within the next 30 days. Mr. Lowe will come up and add whatever he wants to add.
Okay.
Okay?
Any questions for the code officer?
So it's out of compliance on all, I guess there's 5 violations?
Yeah, I didn't get to the rear yard to see whether the lanai is unclear, because that was definitely a fire issue. God forbid they had to get out of the rear of the structure of the home. They wouldn't be able to go into that lanai. That's how cluttered it was. So there was an improvement, but I'm still not satisfied to put it in compliance.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes, he has 4 violations?
I think I have more than that.
5 violations.
I think there's,
Yeah.
I don't,
There's 4.
Four?
1, 2, 3,
Infestation?
5. There's 5.
Five.
Violations.
Right.
They're still all not satisfied. You're not satisfied with
whether 2 are in, I'd rather wait the 30 days. If the board's gonna allow the 30 days, I'd rather wait until everything is done than put everything in compliance. It's not gonna change anything if I put 1 in compliance, all right? So,
Okay.
All
Any
right.
other questions for the code officer?
sir,
Yeah.
would you like to come up?
Respondent, like to say something? Before you begin, please state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, my name's Richard Lowe. I live at 511 Nantucket Drive.
Okay, floor is yours.
Okay, I do construction work and I do some like side jobs. That's how come it was so cluttered and whatnot. And now next year I'll be 70, so I'm retiring, no more of that. We have a 20-yard dumpster on the driveway now, and I've replaced all the screens on the lanai, and the ceiling I fixed, and I've been cutting down all the shrubs and stuff around in the backyard. And each Wednesday when the tree people come, I always put out like 10, 12 branches tied up, plus 2 garbage cans full of tree trunks and whatnot. And so all the stuff that you saw behind the fence will be gone. This weekend I'll be there throwing everything away that is, trash. And so if I have a little bit more time, I'll get everything done. And what I'll do is call and let him come out there and walk with me, because what I might think is okay, he might say, well, do this, do that, and I'll have time to do it.
Any questions?
And you feel like 30 days is sufficient amount of time for you to have this work completed?
Yeah, because the majority of the stuff I've already done, like the screens, the lanai, and all the stuff on the lanai is gone.
Okay.
And so I think that should be good.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
In case number 226727, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 511 Nantucket Drive, with the applicable code violations, Section 10-34, Section 22-345, subsections 2, Section 8-102, subsection 18, subsection D, Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection 8, K, and violate, last one is 10-3, subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Tom Baroni, and other witnesses, along with any evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before March 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance, upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So, hang on a second. So you've been found in violation. You have 30 days to bring the property into compliance. if you bring the property into compliance on or before March 8th, there'll be no fine. So if it's not brought into compliance by that date, a fine of $25 per day will start beyond that. Okay, so you got till March 8th to get it all cleaned up. Okay? And like you said, once you think you've got it all squared away, give the code enforcement officer a call and they'll come back out and take a look at it. Okay? Good luck, have fun. Okay, next case.
Case number 224274.
Should be your first case, gentlemen.
Yes. City versus Gustavo Vargas, Vanessa Vargas Toner, Gustavo Andres Vargas, and George Germain Vargas for the property located at 8206 Hardy Place. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8102-13C, roofs maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on August 3rd, 2022. My inspection at the time noted several blue tarps being used on the damaged roof of the residence to prevent moisture from entering. This time I opened the case and monitored the location. On October 18, 2022, I noted no change, so I left a door hanger with a compliance date of November 3rd, 2022. My inspection on November 16, 2022 noted no change, so a notice of violation was completed with a compliance date of December 16, 2022. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall, also mailed copies both certified, regular mail to the address of the registered owner. My inspection on December 19, 2022 noted the blue tarp still on the roof of the residence. This time I'd like to submit my photographic evidence, the notice posted at the front door, and the tarps on the roof of the residence.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Thank you.
Also, this past Monday, I was contacted by I received an email by the adjuster. It's going to be an insurance claim. And I'll just read you the quick follow-up on the thing. It came from Tavo8206@gmail. Please be advised that the above referenced homeowners are working with our office on homeowners insurance claim that we filed on their behalf. This claim is under review during this process and required their policy to protect the property from further damage, and that is why there is tarps installed. We received your notice of violation, but ask that you allow the homeowner to continue protecting the property to avoid liability issues. We are working toward getting this resolved in a prompt, timely manner. Should you have any questions or require additional information, please contact us at the number below. I'd like to submit the email along with the assignment of benefits and everything that I received from the adjusters.
Very good, we'll accept that.
And the respondent is here tonight with an interpreter.
Great. So that roof doesn't look that old.
Excuse me?
That roof does not look that old. Do you any idea what?
I have no idea how old it is.
It looks fairly new. Yeah.
There's additional photos that came in with the email that I didn't attach because it's like 50-something pages.
Understood, that's fine. You said they responded. Any questions for the code
I
officer?
said one, so the email that you read to us, that was from a roofing company or
The
from?
adjuster.
Yeah, insurance.
Insurance adjuster.
Okay, that's better.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. You said the respondent is here?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, he does have an interpreter, so.
Okay,
Someone's going to need to be sworn in. Mr. Vargas was already here and raised.
okay, so he was sworn in, but he came in late, so sir, you're the interpreter?
I'm the son.
You're the son, so you're gonna interpret for your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna need to get sworn in.
Okay.
Just raise your right hand.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the translation from Spanish to English and English to Spanish will be a true and correct translation?
I do.
Also, Mr. Chair, do you plan on testifying also, or just doing translation?
Whatever I gotta do for my dad.
Okay, well, if you're gonna testify, you'll have to do an actual.
Yeah, I'll just interpret whatever he says word for word.
If you
What?
go beyond it and start to testify.
Why don't we just get him sworn in anyway? That way we don't have any interruption. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and get sworn in?
Okay.
That way you can have free flow.
All right.
Okay. Do Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great. Okay, so the floor is yours.
Yeah. So basically, my dad had me needs help. You know, he doesn't understand English very well. He doesn't understand these letters that he's getting. I'm sorry that it took that long. I don't know. It was since November. But he did reach out to me, I think like a week ago, and he's like, hey, let's just make a drive down to City Hall and see what's going on or what we can do. And then that's when Mr. Silva called me and said, hey, we've been trying to reach your dad, and, you know, phone calls and certified letters and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry. I just got wind of it just now. He's like, I need you to come to court on Monday. And that's what we're here for. And my dad made the errands of like calling the adjuster to, you know, send that information that
Right.
Mr. Silva gave
So
you guys.
just out of curiosity, what caused the issue with the roof, do you know?
It said wind damage in one of the.
Yeah.
Wind damage? Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any timeline from the adjuster as to when they might have somebody come out to fix it?
Usted no sabe ningún tiempo que le van a decir cuando van a arreglarle. Yeah, I
Puede
mean,
ser un mes, 2 meses, 3 meses.
he doesn't know.
When was the adjuster out there to look at it?
Cuando ellos vinieron a poner la carpa.
La semana pasada pusieron la blanca, pero la azul la pusieron hace 4 meses.
Yeah, so the adjuster's been out there twice. Initially, when he saw that there was damage, and then he was there when they put the blue tarp, and now I think you just told me to put like a white clear tarp on it now.
When was the last time the adjuster was there?
El último vez fue el adjuster. Sería Pedro.
Sí, la semana pasada.
Pedro sabía la semana pasada? Last week.
Last week, okay. Okay, any other questions?
Yes, is it going to require a permit? Is it big enough to require the permit to get the roofing permit?
I don't think they know what has to be done yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
From the estimate and from
You
the
don't,
adjuster?
you don't know if they're gonna re-roof it or just gonna repair it yet, right?
No, I think they're going to re-roof it.
Okay,
Yeah. Van a cambiar todo el techo, ¿no?
Sí.
Yeah, yeah, y ellos se encargan de hacer los permisos, ¿verdad? And yeah, and I assume the roofing company who gets the bid will do the proper permitting.
any other questions? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
If no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
That's right.
You wanna do it?
30-day thing?
Maybe that's-
Oh, okay.
You can sit down till it's done or
Oh, okay.
stay there, your choice.
Okay, all right, thank
You
you.
may, you may be called back up, but
Oh,
you
okay.
can have a seat.
Okay, thanks.
Just kind of a point of information, if we read the motion, I think we're gonna need you to translate what the motion is, so Dad's aware of what the motion says.
Yeah, I can do that, sure, no problem.
Okay, so why don't
Whoever
you
reads the motion,
do it slow so he can repeat it? Do it as if you're giving somebody an oath.
This is it.
So actually, why don't you both come back up? And that way, when they read the motion, you can do the translation on the record.
and then if you could ask Chair then if he understood it.
Yeah.
We're closed for discussion. Was one more question. It's in 30.
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah.
All right.
So just read it slow and give him a chance to translate.
In case number 224274,
En el caso que usted ahorita está,
I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence
que ellos han determinado que
the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 8206 Hardy Place,
que en su dirección de 8206 Hardy Place hay una violación del techo
with the applicable code violation, Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C, roofs.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that last part? Who?
Yes. The applicable codes for the section,
Thank you.
Section 8-102,
Esos son los códigos que va a decir.
subsection 13, subsection C.
Okay.
This motion is based on the sworn testimony.
I'm sorry.
This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received
que ellos están confirmando toda la información que dio el señor Silva
from the Code Enforcement Officer, Jose Silva, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits,
que hay fotos y también affidavits y
And-
una carta en el techo.
and notice of violations,
Yeah.
all which is received and entered as part of this record of this hearing.
Okay, que está todo eso incorporado en papeles y están aquí verificando eso.
I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before our next meeting on March 8th, 2023.
Ellos quieren que eso sea arreglado para marzo 8 de este año, de próximo mes.
Si no,
If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past that date set for compliance.
Si no se puede, va a haber una evaluación de dinero cada día después de esa 28, o el 8 de marzo.
Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation,
Depende de cómo de malo está la techo.
any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation,
Cualquier cosas que ha determinado el techo peor
any previous violations committed by the violator.
y cualquier otras cosas que ha pasado con el techo.
I move that the fine be $25 per day.
Serían $25 por día.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion?
Yes. I guess I'm thinking that 30 days may not be enough.
It typically isn't,
Yeah.
but in order to maintain their due diligence and their attention, we typically give them the 30 days. If something extraordinary happens, they can't get it done, the justice says they need more time, they can't find a contractor, blah, 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 they can come back to us and ask for
They have to keep coming back every 30
yes.
days
Yeah.
until.
We had a
Yes.
previous one similar to this, and
Came back to,
he came back every
Yeah.
30 days.
he came back 18 times.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking instead of,
Yeah.
just say 60 days.
So, any other discussions?
tumbaron.
So, you explained to your father that there was a question by one of the board members about the 30 days and realizing that it might take longer. And my response to her was that if it's gonna take longer than 30 days, you need to come back in front of us in 30 days, let us know why it's taking longer, and you can ask for a continuance.
Ok. Ella preguntó que usted necesita tal vez más de 30 días para abordar eso. Pero él dijo que es el código o es el normal que tiene que venir cada 30 días.
Okay.
Ok.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So, he's been, your dad has been found in violation of the code. Okay, he's been given 30 days to get it fixed. Hang on a second there. If after 30 days, it isn't fixed, a fine would be imposed of $25 per day. However, if he comes back to our meeting, if for some reason he can't get it done in 30 days, on our meeting on March 8th, you two will have to come back in front of us, let us know why it's not done yet, and ask for a continuance.
Ok.
Okay? Do you live in town?
No.
Oh,
So I don't know what we're gonna do.
where do you live?
I live in Land O'Lakes, Lutz,
Okay.
and yeah. Mr.
Sir, can I
Silva?
make a suggestion?
Yes.
Will it be acceptable to the board? The son sends me an email with the updates, asking for a continuance, and Mr. Vargas shows up, and I read the email into the minutes to get a continuance.
All right, you have any objection to that?
No, I have no objection, but I do want to comment on one thing, this being February, I think we only gave 28 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So they know that.
Okay, so, all right, you got till March 8th. It's actually 28 days because
Okay.
February only has 28 days.
Okay, right.
Okay, but the same process continues. So,
You got it.
so if the city doesn't have a problem with the email, I don't know that we have a problem with you.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, so if you can, but your dad still has to show up.
Oh, he still has to show up?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll
make-
read the email that you sent me
Yes,
with the
so-
updates, and that's how he'll get the extension.
Okay, yeah, no,
Make sure that
huge,
in,
thank you.
yeah, make sure in the email that you explain why it isn't done yet, and you specifically ask for a continuance,
Okay.
okay?
Do you mind if I write that down on my phone?
I don't care.
Okay. I don't know if anybody would have phones here or not.
Yeah, because my concern would be that whatever email explanation you give us, there's no guarantee we're gonna say, oh, okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
there's no
So-
guarantee that you're gonna get the continuance, but you can't get one unless you ask for one.
Right.
And you're not gonna get one unless you provide a reason why it's not done. And that could, whatever it is, if it's the insurance company dragging their feet, or you can't find a contractor, or whatever it is,
Right.
okay?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure my dad doesn't like having a blue tarp on his roof also. You know, I'm sure he wants to get this resolved.
Yeah, we all do, understood.
As well.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, but we're all on the same page there.
Okay, so the email will be acceptable, but again, make sure and if there's any, other emails or correspondence that you've gotten from the insurance company to help prove your point, attach that to the email.
Okay, so I need to request a contingency?
Continuance,
I'm sorry?
continuance.
Continuance. And then just, give you guys an update of what.
Yeah, and if there's
my
any,
dad called the adjuster 2 times.
yeah, and if you got another email from the adjuster, attach that to the email. If you got a estimate from a contractor and he tells you he can't get it done for 2 years, attach that to the email.
Oh, God. All right. Okay, yeah, you guys got it. Thank you, I
All right.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hang on a second, hold on, we need to make sure that you're explaining to your father.
Okay,
And make sure that he tells you that whether he understands or doesn't understand, and then you tell us.
okay. Entonces, si se puede mandar un email al señor Silva, y el señor Silva va a venir aquí y hablar todo, pero usted todavía tiene que venir.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, pa? Okay.
Okay,
And
so
also
you,
ask him if he understands the order, the order that's been entered, that he's got 28 days.
Oh, yeah, usted tiene 28 días para arreglar esto, si no tiene que empezar a mandar estos emails
Okay.
al señor Silva. Okay?
okay, so you explained it to him, and he said he understands,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you just say that to the record, that you've explained it to your father?
Yeah, I spoke to
Come
my
on up
dad.
to the mic
Oh.
and tell us that you've explained it to your father, and your father understands.
I explained the information to my dad, and he understands.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
have a good night, thank you for coming in.
Hey, appreciate that. Thank
Did
you.
he state
Thank
his
you.
name for the record earlier?
Hang on a second. Just in case, I don't know if you did or not, come back up and state your name and address for the record.
My name is George Vargas, and my address is 23344 Denhurst Court, Land O'Lakes, Florida 34639.
Thank you.
And what is your dad's name for the record?
Gustavo Vargas.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, have a
All
good
right,
night.
thank you. Thank you, you guys too.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, so we are back to our original order, so we already did the first case, so now we're on the second case.
Case number 2357, City versus Michelle L. Edelman and Angelo M. Ferlita for the property located at 6110 Liberty Avenue. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8, 102.13C, roofs maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated proactively on October the 3rd, 2022. My inspection revealed a blue tarp on the roof of the structure. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of the 6th of December, 2022. My inspection on December the 8th, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 9th of January, 2023. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. Mr. Chairman, Ms. Edelman did contact me on November the 5th, 2022, and stated damage was sustained to the roof caused by the hurricane and that her mortgage company was working with the insurance company to approve the repairs. I also spoke again with Michelle on the 20th of January 2023, who said that she had secured Ridge Roofing to fix the roof and the mortgage company was now working with the insurance company's lawyer to finish processing the claim. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on December the 8th, 2022, showing the violations.
Accept that, thank you.
It's a big tarp.
Yeah.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the roof covered with a tarp. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Very good. Any questions for the code officer?
When was the last time you talked with her?
The last time I talked to her was 20th of January, 2023, ma'am.
She's
Go ahead.
not present.
Yes, sir, she is here this evening and would like to address the board.
Any other questions for the code officer? Should the respondent is here?
Yes, sir.
Come on up, state your name and address for the record, and I assume you've been sworn in?
Yes.
Okay.
My name's Michelle Edelman, 6110 Liberty Avenue, Temple Terrace, 33617. Actually, I entered into a contract in March with Ridge Roofing. Originally,
March.
Last year.
yes. This is a process. This has not been fun.
So before the hurricane, you entered into, March of '22,
Correct.
you entered
I entered into a contract with them.
before the hurricane hit? Okay.
I've been in the house for 25 years, and it was time to get a roof. They started dragging their feet some or whatever, and the contract is actually in my father's name and my name. The house is in both of our names. So he was talking with them, and they kept saying they were coming and bringing a contract for me to sign also, and they dragged their feet. And at the time when they came, some rain had come through, and I told my dad, I've got spots now on my dining room. So we contacted them. They were supposed to come put tarps on the house then. This was like August.
Okay.
Then the hurricane came through in October, Ian, and the dining room ceiling fell in. I have 2 holes in my bathroom that fell in because they meet in that wall, so that wall is completely destroyed. And they finally decided to come put tarps on my roof. So this has been emails, phone calls back and forth with this company, getting somewhere, and then we're not getting anywhere. They have received a check from my insurance company. They have received $4,500 from between me and my father. And when Lori and I kind of have been communicating about the situation, they've actually had to come replace the tarps after the second hurricane came in because they blew off. I think they're just throwing them up there. I don't think they're really nailed down. And then when she left the letter and everything and told me about it, I reached out to them because I told her they keep telling me they're waiting on insurance, they're waiting on whatever. They have their own lawyer that's working on it, Pfizer and Flores. Don't know who they are. And when I reached out to them and explained to them, look, I now have to go to the city. I'm in a code violation because y'all haven't done anything yet. I need to give me an ETA, kind of tell me what's going on. I sent them an email as soon as she told me about it, that there was a notice on my door. And on Friday, they sent me an email where they canceled my contract and they're keeping my money. So I have now got an attorney looking into that to try to get my money back from them, and I have to start all over.
Sorry to hear that. Any other questions for the respondent?
Did they give you a reason why they canceled the contract? Was there a legal?
I think it was, no. They just sent a letter. I think it was because between my father and I, probably not being the nicest when it came down to, this is getting ridiculous. I also told them I needed them to fix the tarps again because when we had rain a few weeks ago, it was raining in my dining room again because the tarps have moved. And they just literally sent, I think my dad might have, I'm not going to say my dad didn't make a threat to sue them, but that might have been something he might have said. Look, if y'all don't get something done, I'm going to have to take legal action. And then I get a letter saying that they're no longer have a contract on my house.
And they didn't offer to refund the money or anything?
They actually said in the letter they're not refunding it.
So you're going forward, you're you're, I guess, kind of stuck with using that roofing company because they've got $4,500.
I can't, they're not going, I have to start all over again. But I have to now start getting new estimates from new
Yeah, well,
companies.
I'm trying to figure out what's your next move, and
The next step is probably a twofold. One is to get another roofer, and B, to get the money back from them so you can pay the new roofer.
so, yeah.
Exactly.
So that would
I
kind
have a
of,
lawyer working on sending some, whatever they need to send to the roofing company to try to get them to give me my money back. And I don't, like I said, they got an insurance check and they got money from us. And they wanted another $3,000 at the end of when they finished. So I didn't have to pay that part yet, but,
so to come into compliance, are you making any contacting any other
okay,
roofing
this just
companies?
happened to me on Friday that they just canceled my contract, and I'm kind of
Okay.
like, I've been making some calls and trying to see if I can get someone to come out and give me another estimate. I'm sure that it's gonna be even more expensive than it was before, because there's so much damage now.
But you're
even more
planning,
so.
you're moving forward with possibly a different contractor to get.
I'm gonna
that
have
done.
to.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
to ask you, you still have your insurance, though?
Yeah,
Your insurance is not canceled?
No.
or anything. Is it safe to be at the house?
yeah, same for me.
Any other questions?
I have a hole in the dining room, but it's not unsafe by any means.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll try this one.
Thank you. You can have a seat, man.
All righty, case 22-5357. I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 6110 Liberty Avenue. The code section is 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, as well as Michelle Edelman, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before April 12th. I further move that said, is that 2023, sorry. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
You have a motion, do we have a second? Second. Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays. So you've been found in violation of the code. You've been given till April 12th, which is 60 days, to bring the project, bring the roof and everything into compliance. If that doesn't happen, you'll need to come back on April 12th and tell us why. Yeah, so,
Thank you very much.
okay, good luck.
That was 58 days.
58
58 days.
Okay, 58 days. 58, yeah, 59 days.
31 in March.
59 days. Next case, 225814.
We are gonna skip down to unfinished business, if that's okay, as we have a respondent here.
Okay. So we'll be looking at 222246, gentlemen.
Yes, case number 222246, City versus Sod Investment, Inc., for the property located at 11301 North 56th Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
Okay, and you said the respondent is here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Lori.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just kind of wanted to bring you and the board up to speed since the last meeting. Mohammed has definitely worked on the irrigation system and got that operational right after the last meeting. Unfortunately, we had an additional issue arise, so it's with the trees on the site. So that has certainly stalled the progress of installing the new landscape material due to the trees need to be removed before the landscape can be put in. That's the update that I have so far.
Thank you.
So he's working on a permit or permission to get the trees removed? Is that what the?
Yes, sir, I believe that he has already done that. And again, this is encompassing 8 trees. This is not a little project, but the trees have definitely got to come out before the landscape gets put in, of course. And again, it was something that arose after the fact, sir. No, fault of the respondents. It was something that just came up that we did notice, and it certainly has halted the progress.
Okay, thanks.
Good evening. Mohammed Mustafa, 10810 Applewood Range Way, Tampa, Florida, 33647. So irrigation was completed almost, I want to say, the weekend or 2 weeks after the hearing. And we were ready to do the landscaping as well. We received a notification from Lori indicating that she needed a site plan. Site plan required, or at that point, it took a couple days to get responses from Gus, the city reviewer. But I was under the assumption that I needed a landscape architect. Later on to find out that we didn't need a landscape architect, and I can pretty much go ahead and sketch. So we had everything lined up to get started that weekend. I was advised to not to do that until Gus approves, which Gus is the city reviewer. Until he approves the site plan, and then we can move forward. And then Lori calls me on the 24th telling me that we have 8 dead trees, that we need to apply for a permit to remove these trees. Went ahead and applied for the permit. Our tree vendor is in the process of getting registered with the city of Temple Terrace. But once they get registered, we're going to have those trees cut. Matter a couple days, they're on call. And then after that, we did hire an engineer to draft the site plan because the city is going to require replacement of those trees. So rather than us just working pieces by pieces, we wanted to address everything at once. So I'm asking for a continuance. I don't know if I can handle everything in 30 days. There's a lot of moving pieces, but I would like the board to take acknowledgement that I got the irrigation completed. For the record, we changed 80 heads. It was about $44,900 worth of work. So we're willing to get in compliant, so we're asking for an extension.
2 months will be good.
I believe so, 60 days. Or 59 days.
59.
59 days.
59 days. 59 days.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion. Go ahead.
I move that the city extend and have a continuous until April 12th, 2023.
Motion, no second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? Until April 12th, my friend.
Wonderful evening.
Good luck. Next case?
We'll go back to the hearings. Case number 22-5814, City versus Danielle Huang and Ming J. Huang for the property located at 8020 Terrace Bridge Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102-13C, roofs maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case was originated proactively on October the 24th, 2022. My inspection revealed a blue tarp on the roof. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of the 24th of November, 2022. My inspection on November the 29th, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 30th of December, 2022. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Huang contacted me on November the 29th, 2022, and stated that he was still working with the insurance company to approve the repairs or replacement of the roof. On January the 30th, 2022, Dan contacted me once again and advised he would not be able to be in attendance for the meeting this evening and asked if I would read an email on his behalf to the board.
Okay, before you do that, I just want to make a correction. He contacted you on January 30th of 23, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. January 30th, 2023.
Very good. I assume you're going to want to read his email into the record?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Says this was dated Monday, January the 30th, 2023. It says, to whom it may concern. My claim number with Heritage Insurance is H109527. The insurance company is causing the delay and going through claims process. Heritage has sent a second inspection of my home to check on the damage caused by Hurricane Ian. I am still waiting for the insurance company's decision to repair or replace the roof. I will have roof repaired as soon as Heritage Insurance provides me their decision on my claim. I have an attorney with roofing company if needed. I am requesting an extension of 30 days from the board. Sincerely, Danielle Huang. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on November the 29th, 2022, showing the violation. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit 2 shows the tarp on the roof. Exhibit number 3, Mr. Chairman, would be the email that I just read from the responding asking for a 30-day extension.
Okay. We'll accept that. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
In case number 225814, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 8020 Terrace Ridge Drive. The applicable code sections are Section 8-102, Subsection 13, Subsection C, maintaining roofs in good repair. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violations be corrected on or before March 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day they are ordered to pay a fine, each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the actions, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case. So,
Case number.
Lori, would you see if you could contact him and let him know that if something were to come up, these roofs are they take a while, that he needs to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
find a way to be here on March 8th to let us know,
Absolutely, sir.
if in fact he needs more time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I apologize. Looking at this email, the last line says I'm requesting an extension of 30 days from the board. I don't know if they're trying to ask for a continuance there. So I don't know if we need to officially act on the continuance request.
I think we just did.
You feel that well,
Well, and it's, it's standard operating procedure to, keep them involved in the process, and we typically don't really give continuances on the first try anyway. We haven't, except for the one that specifically asked for.
understood. I just wanted to make
If
sure.
you feel like we need to deal with it, then we will, but if you're asking my opinion, I don't think we need to. I mean, if something comes up and they need more time, 30 days from now, they can come and ask.
I would be more comfortable if you treated this request as a request for a continuance. You can, of course, deny it.
I mean,
And because you've already entered an order, I
we
understand.
haven't entered an order, but if you want us to deal with the continuance,
I'd like to
we
clean
can.
it up, yes.
Okay. So, what council is asking us to do is to move one way or the other on a specific request for the continuance, which you essentially have not given him because you've given him 30 days to bring the property into compliance. So what we would need is is a motion and an explanation as to why we're not allowing the continuance.
The continuance would be an additional 30 days?
No. Rather than the motion that was made to give him 30 days to bring into compliance, he was asking for a continuance of the entire case for 30 days, so that there would be no action taken on the case for 30 days. We've already taken action, so we just need a motion that recognizes that we've taken action, and also recognizing that if something were to come up and he needed additional time, that he would be afforded the opportunity to ask.
Yes, I'll make a motion for that.
Go ahead, give it a try.
I make a motion for the violator that we will.
State the case number.
Yes, in case number 225814, that we will give him till March 8th to come in compliance. If he has any further comments or he needs extra time, he can come and ask for it.
Yeah, but you need to address the question of the
Yeah, I would just ask that you add, to the extent there may have been a request for a continuance, that request was denied.
Yes,
because you entered an order giving them 30
move to deny that request for continuous.
Okay, so we have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? And again, just to make the record clear, the continuance has been denied because we already moved on the case. But like any other respondent, if circumstances come up that have prevented him from bringing the property into compliance, he certainly has the ability to come back here on March 8th and make a case for a further continuance without a fine at that time.
And he can communicate also with Lori and also with email.
I don't believe I asked you, but thank you.
Yes. No, also with
But
emails.
my point is, wait for get permission, okay? We got to keep the record clear. Can't have everybody talking. Okay, does that satisfy you, Ernie? Very good. Thank you. Next case.
Case number 225861, City versus Rebecca Chamberlain for the property located at 402 Courtney Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8102-13B, exterior walls maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Again, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated October 26th, 2022. My inspection at the time noted the side yard wood privacy fence in disrepair. A canoe and a vehicle tire were used to cover the broken fence slats. There was also a vehicle parked in the rear yard on the grass. This time I left door hangers with a compliance date of October 31st, 2022. My inspection on October 31st, 2022 noted the only correction was the vehicle tire being removed. My reinspection on December 6, 2022 noted no change, so I completed notice of violation with a compliance date of December 21st, 2022. At that time, the boat, the fence, and the vehicle were still in the backyard.
Okay.
Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. My inspection on January 19th, 2023 noted the fence to still be in disrepair. I'd like to submit 3 photographs, the notice posted at the door, and the fence in disrepair.
Accept that, thank you.
I did have contact with the owner of the residence. On February 1st, she advised she was in process with Lowe's to replace the fence. She advised she was planning to come to the board meeting tonight, but couldn't do the work, and she should have it replaced within the next 30 days. So it's still out of compliance. There's partial compliance because some panels have been put up, but it's not complete.
Okay. Any questions for the code officer? And you said the respondent is not here?
Not here. She couldn't make it.
Very good. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
In case number 22-5861, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code exists on a property located at 402 Courtney Drive, applicable code section, section 8102, subsection 14, subsection A. This motion is based on a sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of this record of this hearing. I further move said violation be corrected on or before March 8, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine of for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to collect a violation, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move the fine will be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Next case is case number 225929, City versus David On Ganasing and Ann Babwa Ganasing for the property located at 6106 Whiteway Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12861E6. Fences appearance. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence of the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Lloyd, before you get started,
Yes, sir.
indulge me a minute. What's the difference between section 12-861 subsection E subsection 6 and 8-102 subsection 14 subsection A? The one I just mentioned is fences maintained in good repair, and this is fences appearance. What constitutes one versus the other?
I had the same question.
Okay, so as long as it's structurally sound, but it's moldy or
That's correct.
that would be the section 12. If it's got structural issues and missing slats or it's got holes in it, then it becomes a section 8 violation.
14A. So it would become a 14A. When you just, previous case.
14A. Yeah, the previous one was section 8-102. 14A.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so as long as it's just appearances that can be washed or whatever, it's a section 12-861E6. If there's structural issues, then it becomes 8-102 14A. Okay. Awesome. I learned something tonight.
I had the same question.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on October the 31st, 2022. My inspection revealed the front door in disrepair and the west side wooden fence in disrepair. At that time, I left 2 door hangers with a re-inspection date of the 15th of November, 2022. My inspection on November the 16th, 2022 revealed that the front door had been replaced. However, the west side fence remained out of compliance. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of the 30th of December, 2022. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mailed to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. Mr. Chairman, the respondent reached out to me on November the 29th, 2022 and said that he would definitely repair the west side wood fence before our next code board meeting. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on November the 16th, 2022 and January the 23rd, 2023. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows a west side wooden fence in disrepair.
Very good. We'll accept those. Thank you.
As of today's date, the site is now in compliance, and at this time, I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I'm just looking for a finding.
Very good. We'll accept that.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is the case, right? In case number 225929, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 6106 Whiteway Drive with the applicable code section 12-861 subsection E subsection 6. This motion is based on the sworn testimony that board has received from the code enforcement officer Lori Smith and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of this record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Before we move on to the next case, did you guys pass down the notice of compliance?
Yep, sorry.
Great, thank you. Next case, please.
Case number 22-6664, City versus Elay Homes, LLC, for the property located at 108 Mission Hills Avenue. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12-861E6 fences appearance. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on December 14th, 2022 for a damaged wooden privacy fence. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of December 29th, 2022. My reinspection on January 3rd, 2023 showed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of January 16th. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on January 25th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing and scheduled the case for the February Municipal Code Board meeting. I did locate a phone number in the city's water accounts for the owner of the property, but that number was no longer in service, and the property owner has not reached out to me regarding this violation. I did determine the ownership of the fence by checking past permits in the city system and drawings in the city system submitted by the previous owner, and would like to present them into evidence along with the photographic evidence taken by me on January 3rd and January 25th, 2023.
We will accept all that, and some good sleuthing.
Big research.
Exhibit number 1 shows the NOV posting. Exhibit number 2 shows the damaged wooden fence. Exhibit number 3 shows the fence permit provided by the previous owner. And exhibit number 4 shows the sketch for where the fence was going to go for the permit from the previous owner. This time the site is not in compliance and I'm seeking a ruling.
Good. Any questions for the code officer?
So, so when you say previous owner, this house was sold, I guess, to this LLC, Elay LLC. Is that what happened?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I wasn't sure that, I figured that the property owner might question, well, it's not my fence. So that's why I dug into the system to see who had applied for a fence permit and when it had been applied for.
And the owner of the property now is still responsible to get the fence fixed, right? As far as our
His reason for looking for that is to make sure that the address, the fence belonged to the address that he was looking to violate.
Oh, okay, I got you.
They don't, wouldn't it be under the property? This is.
Yeah, but it's, if you look at the picture, it straddles two properties. So if the permit was for the house next door, he would have been walking next door to violate that house. So he wanted to be sure that he was looking at the right property.
Makes sense now, yeah.
So the property where the fence is
Leaning.
crumbling into is the one that is in question?
No, it's the property to the right.
Okay, thank you.
If the property to the left hadn't had their gate open, I wouldn't have been able to see the damaged fence.
And is the house occupied at this time?
I do see cars coming and going out of there, but sometimes they're not consistently the same vehicle, so I'm wondering whether it might be a temporary rental like an Airbnb or something along that line.
And you've had no contact with the owner of the property at all? Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
do it.
Thank you.
Okay. In case number 226664, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence, the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 108 Mission Hills Avenue. The applicable code, section 12-861, subsection E, subsection 6. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Douglas Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before March 8th. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine to be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please. Thank you.
Next case is case number 226669, City versus Stephen Andrew Seagrass for the property located at 724 Argyle Place. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of section 12861E6 fences appearance and section 8-102-13B exterior walls maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served. Mr. Seagrass has requested a continuance until the next meeting.
You said there were 2 violations on the property?
Yes.
I only have one.
Only see one on
There's
the,
only one on the agenda.
Yes, no, that, the correct violation is just the fence, which is section 12861E6 fences appearance. So that was the first one that I mentioned.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so we first have to deal with the request for continuance, and then if you don't grant the continuance, then we'll hear the rest of the case.
Would it be possible to read the letter again? I mean, I remember reading it, but I don't remember the details of what.
It is before you. I put a
You have a copy in your package.
Oh.
Here, you can see mine, you can see, give him mine, or yours, doesn't matter.
Apparently, I don't have that in mind, but I didn't see it.
So just read the one in front of you.
Yeah. Thanks for the help, the hint.
And a copy of that email is part of the record, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so are we open for discussion or not?
Well, if you have any questions, I guess the questions will be limited because I haven't heard the case yet, but discussion is normally after the motion's made.
I have questions about the continuance and the basis for it. I don't know if that's.
Well, you can do that either by making a motion one way or the other, or wait till after the motion is second, and then we can have our discussion.
Yeah, can I speak?
Not unless you're making a motion.
No, I'm still discussing.
No, you're not listening.
motion.
I'm gonna make a motion not to have the continuance for this case.
Okay, make the motion. Make the motion.
Yes. I move on case number 22-6669 for the not to have a continuous and to just discuss the case, and we can extend the time when they come next time for the hearing. But this is found in violation. This is to be consistent with other cases.
Before we get a second here,
Go ahead.
I think you've all heard motions should always be, should not be in the negative. And that's what that is. That's you move to not continuance. So it would be better to say to deny.
Yes,
But when you say not to do something, that's considered a motion negative, and that can be very confusing, so that's why if you can change it to a deny.
yes, okay, I'll change my motion. I move that, to deny the request for continuous on case 22-6669.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You've been waiting for that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've been waiting all this time for this. I guess the first, I agree with what Rod said with the denial of the continuance. And my reasoning here is he says he needs, he can't be here because of some interference with the start of the semester. But the semester's, my son goes to USF, the semester's already started, so I'm not really sure how that applies to his request for continuance. And also, his continuance was, he wanted an extension until March 15th, and we're gonna give him, I mean, if we go forward with, if we find him a violation and we use the next meeting date as a time, then March 8th is pretty close. I don't see why he couldn't be here for the March 8th meeting to.
It's fine, but just, I will remind you, earlier today, we did give a similar case a continuance simply because he couldn't get a babysitter.
True.
Yeah, but.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I mean, I agree with you. It's, that guy couldn't find a babysitter. He couldn't schedule it. He couldn't, he was strapped. This guy says I had some work done a while back and I was waiting. I mean, just like you said.
Right.
It seems like, even based on his own letter, that all of the things preventing him from being here tonight have kind of been resolved.
Yes, can I say?
Go ahead.
This is my opinion, and I don't want it to become a trend for everybody to come in here or send us a letter to continue us. If they cannot be here, I would like to see that they're asking, they will bring it into into correcting that violation to make our also code enforcement officers and a little bit more comfortable with that. And also, they can email the code enforcement and ask for extension of time. But to keep giving the continuous without us reading and knowing the case, this is just becoming confusing. I want to be consistent on that.
Okay, any further discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have to agree with what Rod is saying. I've been on this board for 3 years, and I haven't seen a continuous case until today. This is the third, I don't know if I've been sleeping or what. So I'm very confused, to tell you the truth.
That's true.
So I don't know what's going on, but yeah,
Very
the
good.
second will go with the motion.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? So the request for a continuance has been denied, and we will hear the case.
It must have been the word of the day at some point, like a week ago.
The moon must be in the right place.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. The case was originated by me on December 14th, 2022 for a damaged wooden privacy fence on the east side of the site. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of December 28th, 2022. My reinspection on January 3rd showed no change, so a notice of violation was prepared on that date with a reinspection date of January 16th, 2023. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and the copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on January 25th showed no change to the violation, so a notice of hearing was prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the February Municipal Code Board meeting. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on January 3rd and January 25th, 2023.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation, and exhibit number 2 shows the damaged wooden fence.
Any questions for the code officer?
At this time, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Very good, thank you.
Has the owner reached out to you at all?
Just the email that you had a copy of that was read into the record.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, in case number 22-6669, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 724 Argyle Place. The code section is 12-861, subsection E, subsection 6. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before March 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. That completes our cases for this evening. On to unfinished business.
Okay. We'll go to the second case on unfinished business. Case number 22-3437, City versus Rod A. Hamill for the property located at 6125 East 110th Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 22-4955, City versus Ibrahim Mustafa for the property located at 10373 Councils Way. An affidavit of noncompliance has been submitted for Section 810213B by Officer Allen dated January 12th, 2023. Case number 22-4991, City versus First National Trust Company for the property located at 109 Mission Hills Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Allen for Section 103B dated February 7th, 2023. Case number 22-5004, City versus Khalil Ahmad Abu for the property located at 11901 North 53rd Street. An affidavit of noncompliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for Section 12861E6 and 1034, dated January 12th, 2023. Case number 22-5166, City versus F&S Home Investment LLC for the property located at 10313 Councils Way. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for Section 810213B dated January 23, 2023. Case number 22-5290, City versus Robert Joseph Barrett III and Arena Barrett for the property located at 508 Roxburn Avenue. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for Section 810213B, 810222, and 810213M, dated January 12th, 2023. Case number 22-5444, City versus John P. Ziegler for the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 22-5466, City versus First National Trust Company for the property located at 109 Mission Hills Avenue. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Allen for Section 810213H dated February 7th, 2023. Case number 22-5643, City versus John G. Kennedy III for the property located at 6117 East 111th Avenue. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for Section 12861E6 dated February 6, 2023. Case number 22-6013, City versus Jennifer L. Kibiger for the property located at 415 Mission Hills Avenue. The deadline for compliance is March 8th, 2023. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Allen for Section 810218A, dated January 31st, 2023. I believe that is partial compliance. Case number 22-6101, City versus Ings Tiz Y for the property located at 8429 Wakula Drive. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Silva for Section 828A1 dated January 19th, 2023. And then I have two other affidavits that were received. They're not on the agenda, but they it puts two cases that were on our accruing liens list in compliance. So it stops the liens from accruing. This is case number 22-1492, City versus JR Premier Properties, LLC, for the property located at 608 Courtney Drive. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Silva for Section 8-102-14A, dated January 20th, 2023. And there's one more case on that same property, case number 22-4324, City versus JR Premier Properties, LLC, for the property located at 608 Courtney Drive. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Silva for Section 828A1, dated January 20th, 2023. So that property is in compliance and no longer accruing a lien.
Very good. I want to go back to case 22-6101. On that particular case, we had an affidavit of compliance dated January 19th. The date of compliance was supposed to be January 12th, so that property incurred 7 days of, okay. Very good. Does anybody have any new business?
It's not new, but I want to extend my condolences to the people that got affected by the earthquake that hit Turkey and Syria.
Very good.
God bless them.
Okay. Anything else? If not, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? We are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies.